All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. It's great to see this many people. As always, Ventura is well represented, but we've got some other regions and some another state.
Another state.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody making the entry. It was pretty great setting up this focused discussion. As you know, we always do a lot of videos, as many Team 3 videos as I can find. Um, and that can be an undertaking to find Team 3 videos that are on topic. But I was pretty grateful last night as I was finishing this up, how easy it was to find clips. I was grateful for the great referees we have working with Team 3. That they have great clips, food for thought in those clips, and good examples, and also everybody who's contributed to building the video library for Team 3 uh, through Play of the Fortnight. That's been written by a number of people throughout the years to help spread out the load. So, with that being said, uh, this is a lot of these lessons are kind of repackaged, advanced course, national course, expo workshops. This one is original, um, and I really targeted this focus discussion at a trend I've noticed, and um, so I had invited Garth and Joel this evening because they're two referees who have expressed a challenge that I've been wanting to address for a while. So this has actually been turning over in my head for a few years, and I finally decided to do a focus discussion on it. But so we've got these referees who might have a great understanding of the game, very well intentioned. They want to make the best impact on the game, and they find themselves worried at times that they're going to make a call and negatively impact the match. Has anybody felt this themselves before?
Yes.
Okay.
Me.
Yeah, like there's some sayings. What's the phrase? Like a good match is one where you don't notice the referee.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean I've yet to get a tip on a game I've refereed. So um we'll find out when I do get noticed well enough. But so that's a well motivated challenge, right? I don't want to negatively impact the match. And I want to give tools in this session on how to tell when you need to give that that impact on the match. You need to make that call or take that action. Um, so talk about deciphering how you know when that's needed. And then once you know when it's needed, I also want to remind you this evening of the tools you have. We have a wide array of tools, a toolbox, if you will. So makes sense to everyone?
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. So let's dive in. So those of you who have taken the advanced course, that's really where the concept of flow and control is introduced. Who can describe, even if it's not explicitly from that course, who can describe their understanding of flow and control for us?
Okay, off the top of my head, the when you get into the control aspect, you go with a lot of the rules of the game, not so much the spirit of the game, and a lot of stoppage going on. And the players are like, "We're better than this. We probably, this is going to be a tight, this is going to be stopped a lot." So that's the control side of things as a referee. And the flow would be everything goes. The whistle is kind of disappeared and you're seeing things and you're like, oh, maybe not. Okay, next time. And it gets to the point where people may have fouled pretty aggressively, and then they're upset. You know, things are getting out of control. So the flow has it's gone from too much control to too little, too much flow. But there's a happy medium there where everybody
Hmm.
understands the game. And so there's the gauge on the screen there. It's like you want to put that somewhere in the middle where everybody understands what's going on. And so you can control the game, but yet let them play at the level they're capable of playing.
Yeah, that's I think that's very thorough. Does anybody have anything to discuss there? Anything to add?
Yeah, just real brief. I would say enough control on the game to keep it safe for the players, enough flow in the game to let plays develop. If we're blowing the whistle all the time, nothing's in it, no one's gonna no attacking play is ever gonna develop.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, thank you, Joel, and thank you, Garth. That's spot on. So yeah, as Joel mentioned, I do have the gauge on the screen here, and that's kind of how I know I've taught in the advanced course this way, right? It's this gauge. Flow is on one end, control is on the other, and you pick and choose. Sometimes it's envisioned as a red light, green light. And I think I just realized red lights are on top, right? The green lights are on bottom. Not that it
I didn't
matters.
say anything, but yeah, it's upside down.
Yeah. All right. I'll fix that for the next one. Um, yeah, gosh. Hoping I could sneak one by some blind refs. But yeah, so it's often seen that way. And I was thinking, this creates a bit of, even with the green red, it creates good bad, right? Flow good, control bad. Sometimes it can create a judgmental dynamic. And so what I wanted to propose we consider this evening is it being a balancing act. Uh, and actually, to make this graphic, I pulled something from Scales of Justice, right? That seems fitting. We're looking for justice in the game. So we've got flow and control balancing each other. Does does anybody have any thoughts on how they can balance each other? Maybe even an experience, a quick anecdote.
I don't have an anecdote, but I would imagine this flow and control, the way you've diagrammed it here, uh, would be affected a lot by the intensity of the game. So if you had a little weight up on top, where as the intensity gets uh, more intense, it would be drifted, the little weight would drift over toward flow, in which you have to start walking over toward control a little bit more.
Hmm. Yeah, so as you start pouring more things into your flow bucket, you have to add to the control bucket to keep things in balance. I like that.
So maybe turn the buckets upside down and have some water flowing over them.
Oh boy. You will think I have a lot more time on my hands than I do. Okay, I will work on my animation skills.
I don't
Has
know.
it?
Those look pretty good. They look like the handles of the bucket. You just need to draw
Okay,
the bucket underneath.
I'll work on it. I'll work on it.
Well, I
I
just
like it.
I like Chris's analogy of the filling up, that one in a good place.
Hmm. Yeah, has anybody ever heard of the concept in refereeing of a strong first five?
Yes.
Yep.
What is that?
You show your presence during the first 5 minutes. You're there. You're keeping a tight control of the game, and then you let up on it to see how the game will progress from there. But
Okay.
you still maintain your presence.
Well, so those of you who have talked to me know that there was a UCSB game that impressed me. Not going to go into it, but that referee came out and blew a lot in the first 5 minutes, and it was never a mosh pit for a college game, which is the only time I ever saw that. And I had that as my philosophy, only maybe I didn't do enough in my Ken Aston Cup referee assignment. And so I totally blew flow and control because I was trying to have control, and it just it was I was not happy with that game, and no one was. And so because of that, being in the Ken Aston camp, I got lucky enough to be mentored by a bunch of people saying, okay, but you had some other tools in your toolbox. Won't go into that because that's not what this is about. So I try out at the beginning. I don't care that the foul is trifling. I'm trying to allow them to know in the first 5 minutes I'm seeing things, not something in the middle, something where it's not affecting the game. But I'm trying to let them know that I see these things and I'm not blind. And then that UCSB ref, or the ref of that UCSB game, he backed off because I thought that game was going to be total whistle. But because he established himself early and that he was going to call it and not allow retaliations and so on, the
Yeah.
players respected him. And
Yeah.
I talked to the players afterwards.
Yeah, so we're seeing situations where maybe we put in too much control and then like the flow disappears and the whole thing falls apart. These are broken scales. On the flip side, there can be a situation where we put in too much flow, the control is gone, and then again the system falls apart, right? Um, is there a time when so we talked about a strong first five, uh, and I'm sure you guys can imagine if you've ever been in a situation where something got real tense, you started adding a lot of control probably, right? Like, okay, this game's getting too hot, let me bring it down. So you start filling up that control bucket. What's a time when you might find yourself wanting to add more flow?
When you realize you've been blowing your whistle a lot and the game is not flowing.
Okay.
And for me, it didn't matter how much I was blowing my whistle. They weren't paying attention. Both sides, in other words, it wasn't one side or the other. It was both sides. It was a 16 boys game and they didn't care. If it was a 19, they had other things to think about.
Hmm.
But I learned
Okay.
something about that, about 16s are a little bit different because they don't know what's going to happen later that night.
So keeping a match tight, if that's not getting the results you want, you think, maybe I try adding a little more flow. So and there will be a good balance in the end. This is going to depend on things like your own referee style. Like for me, um, I'm a pretty good believer in the strong first five. Uh, Obviously, you don't want to blow your first opportunity. Um, and I believe this is my personal style that there is a buy-in of control uh, to earn the reward of flow. I believe it has to start that way. But you might believe something different. That works for my personal style. If you present yourself in a different way on the field, that might not work for you, but you may have tools available to you that aren't available to me. So there's going to be a balance that has to happen. Uh, and it's also going to depend on the teams that show up, right? So it's your personality as a referee, the teams that show up, some other conditions, maybe it's your fifth game that day and you just can't run down in the corners, let things get hot and be close on top of them. You just, as soon as you see some touching down there that seems like it might be careless, all right, we're on the whistle. So you got to find that balance that's going to work. And then you got teams, right? I think we notice this a lot, either at area tournaments or section tournaments, uh, they've really done their whole season with the league teams. They've done their whole season in one region, and some of those regions they've seen the same referee every week, week in and week out, and they're getting the same kind of calls, right? So maybe they're used to a really high control game. Maybe they're used to a really high flow game. And it can be really tough when you're refereeing one team that's used to a lot of flow, one team that's used to a lot of control, and it's hard to satisfy both of them. So we'll talk about finding good balance tonight. One of the key ways to know, and say the way to know, is to look at what kind of response you're getting from the players and coaches. What kind of responses are the players and coaches feeding to us that say, hey, I need more flow. I need more control. Ah, they're coming already. I'm going to back them up. Throw some things out here at me.
Complaints about your calls.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep them
hearing the
coming.
coach, hearing the spectators yelling, "Oh, you missed that," or this, just complaints.
Yeah.
Even the game starts to get hotter. The players start taking it out on each other.
Yes. Retaliation. Thank you, John.
I would also like to add that control is not just by the whistle. You can vocalize during the game too and talk to the players and maintain some control that way before you have to resort to a whistle.
Yeah. Very true, Chris. So being keyed in on the players, on the coaches, can be very important. To a lesser degree, the spectators. I left them off the title of this because they're usually not giving you much feedback that the coaches and the players are giving you. So this really is a call to not be locked up, uh, to hear the feedback. You don't have to act on the feedback, but take it in as information, right? Okay, both teams are kind of throwing their hands up in the air every time I call a foul. Maybe I need a little more flow, right? Or both teams are saying, ref, someone's going to get hurt. Okay, maybe I need a bit of control, right? So it's a tough balance as a referee because we can't be overly influenced by their input, right? Because they are trying to game us sometimes, right? There's gamesmanship. Has anyone ever seen a player go for a throw in? They know that it's not their throw in, but they go to pick up the ball anyway.
Yeah.
And what's their reaction when you point the direction that's not their direction?
Big complaint, hands up in the air.
It's usually outsized, right? They created that situation where then they can complain, even though they know you made the right call. You know you made the right call, right? So you don't want to be too influenced by that. But if they're genuinely frustrated, or if that happens again and again and again from different players from both teams, maybe I'm not getting my throw-ins right. Maybe we had a halftime and I forgot we switched directions. Okay. So there's a fine line there of not being closed off, being strong, being a confident. Those of you who've taken the national referee course, um, character, consistency, and courage, right? You have those. But part of the character is being open to listening to feedback. Okay. So, what responses, we're getting to the toolbox that's been mentioned. What responses can the referees and the ARs have to situations on the field that allow us to modulate flow and control?
Presence, closeness to the play.
Mm-hmm.
as well as vocalizing or talking to the players.
Yeah, lovely, Chris. I'll hit the button after I get one more answer, and then we'll see them up there. And then there are clips after this, I promise. How do we make a call?
Yeah, I
Use
think,
your
I think the volume on the whistle can
There
tell.
you go. Yeah, Joel, there's not just one whistle, right? You can use the whistle as an instrument. Yeah. So we have a whole range of responses we can have as the referee and as the AR. And they escalate. You can mix and match. You don't always have to be walking up the stairs. You can blow the whistle and give them the look. You can caution them and maintain presence. And of course, at the bottom, there's just no reaction, right? They don't even know if you saw it. They don't know if you thought it was nothing, if you're blind. This is part of your toolbox you've got here. So what's key is you can encourage flow and control with more than just whistle or no whistle, right? You've got these other tools in there. Are there any of these tools that you think are exclusively for flow or exclusively for control?
I think quiet talk would be completely for keeping it in control.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a player that's causing a little problem, you just walk up and talk to him in his ear and look at him and then walk away. Don't make anything really drastic so everybody else picks up on it.
So that's soft control, right? You're not impacting the flow of the match
Right.
in a negative way, at least. Yeah, thank
I
you,
think I
Kristen.
think the way you have listed these is from the bottom up, from flow up to max control.
Okay. Yeah, they're definitely escalating. Advantage, is that a flow tool, a control tool?
Well, you're allowing it to flow, but you're having control in the sense that you saw it. You let them know it. So that's letting not just the team that committed the foul, but you're letting, more importantly, you're letting the team that the foul was committed against to understand that you did see it. And then hopefully, if the advantage doesn't develop, then you actually do pull it back. So that's not just a matter of saying advantage, but you give them the advantage. If it doesn't develop, then you go back to the foul. Because I see too many refs professionally call advantage and there's no advantage, and they just keep playing anyway.
Yeah, I agree, Andy. It's a balanced tool. It can be for flow and control at the same time, right? Fill up both buckets. Well, you all want to get to the clips, don't you?
No, I like this.
All right, we don't have to go to the clips. I'm kind of out of slides though.
That's fine.
All right, should we go to the clips?
Sure.
Yeah.
So a lot of these clips, they're here to make you think, right? So we see something. Did it impact flow? Did it impact control? What do we think about it for our own style? You know, we don't get to see too much of the match. There's one where I have two clips from one match, and so I think that's I enjoyed putting that one together because you can kind of see some continuity. Um, so we'll take a look at them, and we'll discuss them like the group of ref nerds that we are. So, all right. All right. So what did we see there?
I don't know. Ball over end line. It was kind of jumpy for me. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
that's true.
I realized I stopped sharing my screen because you can optimize for video, and I hadn't done that. Let's see if this run goes any better. Did that come through any more clearly to you folks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little is it did.
Yeah, this is why I upload these things ahead of time because I know with bandwidth either here or on your end, the video just doesn't come through as smooth as it is on my screen. Um, but hopefully that made it better. So yeah, what do we think about flow and control in this situation?
Well, it was hard for me because of the fact that not being in the game and watching it just from the one viewpoint, I didn't know. I mean, the game flowed and I didn't see anything take place that,
What made you think the game flowed, Andy?
well, in other words, the game was going, but I didn't know enough about what was I didn't see any fouls like that first, whatever took place just there. Couldn't really see it because it was fuzzy.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know if a foul took place there. It could have, the hand was up, but in other words, my
So
that angle
let me point out to you guys, the clip does
hmm,
include something that you can see that's of value. So I'm not bringing you
okay,
guys clips that don't include the thing I want to talk about. Uh,
okay. I'm just a dummy and I missed it.
did anyone catch it? All right, one more
I must
time.
not have.
All right. So the referee's off to the right of screen. Okay, so we start up here at the halfway line. The red midfielder is collecting the ball, and he's starting to create a play with his team. All right. So he decides, oh, I'm coming back. I'm gonna start carrying it over here. All right, this guy came in, right? And we saw a leg up
Okay,
here,
yeah.
right? So this guy comes in from some distance, the player in yellow. Good skill by red. And look at this, right? So that's a leg across the knee.
Mm-hmm.
And it certainly impacts how the player is moving.
Yeah, it was really from on my side, it was very blur. Mine was very blurry, but now with your pointing out where I was looking, I could see it because it was confirmed.
Hmm.
So my
So
question, did the referee signal advantage? Since I can't see the referee.
Yeah, the ref's off screen, and I couldn't tell if there was contact there.
so the referee, you guys are making me work for it. Do you not see me circling the referee?
Yeah, the
Someone said it's
referee is signaling advantage, so he actually saw something, but the red team didn't lose the ball, so he just advantaged it.
Okay, so is the
Oh, there
referee,
we
Oh,
go.
I got a question. Is the referee on the right-hand side of the screen?
circling the referee with my laser pointer. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I see it.
Right,
I had to move a
so
little bit.
do I
Okay.
have, are you the one who's gonna Okay, so for me, I couldn't see it because that's where you guys were showing up. So
Okay.
it was
All right.
obliterated.
So the referee
Yeah.
is signaling advantage.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
gonna manhandle this situation and we're gonna keep moving forward. Um, the referee is signaling advantage. There was contact there. The referee said, I see an offense. I'm going to award advantage. This player is showing a lot of maturity, a lot of skill, right? So let's look for the reaction now to see if this advantage was a good choice, if flow was what was needed here.
Out on goal.
Is there any
Yeah.
feedback for us?
Good choice. They
Yeah.
had a good shot on goal.
How did the players react on both teams?
Just part of the game. Like that was a good call. I think they accepted it.
Yeah, no adversity.
Yes, they accepted it. Nobody even looks to the referee. I mean, hats off to the player in red here. This is a lot of maturity for a 14U,
Nice
right?
pass. Mm.
And if you can, if you heard the audio the first time, I'll keep it off for the replays. The coach is just talking about, hey, great job with that left foot, right? This is wonderful. There's positivity. The coach has got a good attitude. Coach is focused on play. Nobody's complaining that the call wasn't made because this is an advantage situation. It was better for them. They had the skill, the teamwork, the tactics to make it happen, right? So the referee signals advantage. He's running in. Great opportunity on goal. I think that striker is not as skilled as the one that fed him the ball, but
And the AR was right there to see the ball go over the goal line.
so I think this one's a softball. I expected it to be a softball when I picked it. This is a great example of balancing flow and control. Referee says, I see it, but I'm going to let it flow because you've got the skill and the tactics to make this happen. All right. We're going to jump onto the next clip. Hopefully, everything's more center screen. I'll make sure our professional videographer knows that he needs to step it up. All right. Okay. Who has something to say on that one?
Something
Well,
happened,
the
but
ref,
I was watching the ball, so I wasn't paying attention to the kid that flew.
Can you
the
put it one more
referee,
time?
the referee waved his hands out indicating no foul.
That's perfect. This clip is a perfect scenario of when we get burned for watching the ball, which is part of our job. But by the way, 14 does just a wonderful job of collecting that ball and turning it. That's wonderful. Did
Okay.
anyone catch it?
Yeah.
One, yeah, I could see what happened. I think he made a proper call. I don't think there was much contact based on what I could see.
Okay.
And definitely the referee had a better angle on it and was on top of it.
That's right. He was there to make the call. Okay, let's see if he makes contact.
Yeah. So the ball's gone.
It does look like he kind of caught up a cleat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
14 was possibly cutting in front of 12, so it was, you know, 12 didn't cause it. 14 did it by potentially cutting in front of the player. It was didn't change his course, didn't raise his leg. Yeah.
And nowhere near the ball.
So we have the referee signaling advantage.
And
What do we think the Red 14 thought about that?
Well, anytime you go down from behind, you're gonna wonder, did you see it? Number one, but I don't think he really. Yeah, I want to say he was out of the play at this point. He made his pass, and he really didn't have opportunity to contribute on that much further. Is
I saw the player, give the referee a look, but he accepted it.
So do we only call offenses if they stop the progress of an attack?
No,
no.
Okay, okay. What did the teammate of Red think about this decision?
well, it looked to me like the other players didn't even notice because it was
Yeah,
clearly in the play.
Yeah, their back was turned.
yeah, and he kept going with it. Off ball play, sometimes you can the rest of the game might not be impacted. But do you think 14 here accepted the call? Or the decision, I should say?
This is a 12U game.
Yeah.
I I mean, if it was 14 and he did that, I'd say he accepted it 12. They probably wouldn't argue as much. I mean, he did look. He saw the ref indicate no foul.
Now, the referee signaled advantage.
Oh, that's advantage. I thought he was saying, I thought I saw the arms go across.
Yeah, I think the ref should have raised his arms higher up or arm higher up to
So what
it,
what
it
what let's go two plays down the road, right? Couple minutes. How would we know if the player was okay with this referee's decision?
Well, he didn't make a fuss about it. So he turned, after the referee looked at him, he turned away and just started playing again. So he had to accept it. There was, I mean, he's not going to stop it for something like, because he wants him to stop it.
What do we think about off-ball interactions?
Mm. It has to be pretty flagrant for me to do that. I know it appeared to be pretty incidental and not trying to get an advantage out of it.
Yeah. I mean, I still feel
Does
that
everybody have a similar opinion that off-ball offenses have to be very flagrant?
no.
no.
Okay, what's a contradicting perspective there?
Well, what I saw with a
I'm
blurry
asking a general
picture,
question here.
but if it's something that I want to have control of, or well, not control of, if I'm seeing too much of something
All right,
that,
I'm going to redirect here, Andy.
okay,
Off ball, is that any part of playing soccer?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
There-
Positioning and yeah, for sure.
There's no soccer ball in the vicinity. So if there's contact going on there, they're not playing the ball. And that's something you got to keep an eye on, especially if it's late.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is something I know we got some national candidates, some advanced candidates here. Um, Off ball, that's warning signs, guys. That's warning signs. It's a high expectation that they have for us, but if there is no reason for 14 to be taken down here, he doesn't even have the ball anymore. So that's why he gets up with the frustration, right?
Yeah.
So he could have accepted how the referee handled it. The referee's close. It looks like the referee might have said something. So yeah, we don't see the next 2 minutes, right? If there's retaliation that comes up down the line,
Yeah.
okay, he didn't accept how the referee handled it. But if that's the end of it, then great job, ref, right?
And to me, it didn't look like 12 intentionally took out 14.
And Law 12 says that for all direct free kick offenses, they must be intentional. Yes or no? Oh, okay.
No. But
No.
I felt 14 cut in front of 12. I didn't see 12 make, even though it's a little jerky and a little blurry. I don't feel from what I was seeing, I couldn't definitively say that 12 tripped 14. I felt 14 put him in a cut across 12's path and tripped on 12's foot.
All right,
But
let's
that
look
was
at
my
this clip.
interpretation.
Let's look at this clip. This is the first of two from this match, if I'm not mistaken. So we get two from this match. So let's see how this one goes. So we just had a direct free kick called for Orange. Okay. What do we think about the referee's flow and control decisions here? I'll play it again without sound, but you can feel free to start talking.
White
I'm
is
sure-
basically taking their time and wanting to stay there until the guy kicks the ball. Obviously, he's not going to kick the ball while you're standing there.
Garth, you're muted.
It looked to me like the referee is talking to the players, trying to get them away from the ball so the play can restart.
Right here, right?
Yes, I see his arms gesturing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he gestures and then keeps walking away. This is a pet peeve of mine, so I would have been talking to the players a lot more, getting them to move back and be real about the distance.
Yeah, but he did.
Okay.
He told White to scoot back several times, keep moving back.
Yeah,
But I
but then
think
he kept moving. See, he says move back, but he keeps walking away. So he's losing, okay, he's accepting, he's not really gonna do anything. He's not gonna caution me.
And you hear him speak up louder here, right? He kind of escalates, right? Like he's close and he's trusting them to be mature about it. And then here he's talking to the guy who's tying his shoe or whatever that is.
Tying a shoe while walking closer to being in
Um,
the way.
yeah. Yeah. So he sees that and then, was this 15? Okay, you got me. And then he escalates, right? Here you hear his voice get louder. White, back it up. What kind of reaction do we get here?
not enough.
Not enough?
Not enough. Yeah. They're still delaying that restart. As
Yeah,
far
it's
as
a
I'm
delay a game.
Yeah, they're
We've gotten a
pushing the
caution.
referee's buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do we think about flow and control here? How are they receiving it?
They don't
It
think
loo-
he'll get off, they'll be issued a caution.
Yeah, they flow sure did stop.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how the earlier part of the game went, but if it was similar to this and continuing, the referee is losing control.
Mm.
Hmm. We get another clip from this match. Garth, were you able to get unmuted and say what you were trying to say earlier? Here, let me ask you to unmute. I can do that from my end. And that should give you an easy button to hit.
All right, thank you.
Hey,
Yeah.
there you
I just thought the referee probably should have got over there to monitor the situation. It's hard to do it from a distance effectively.
Yeah. Yeah, I think um the referee would has hopefully learned to come back, get closer. By the way, his birthday was Monday. Yeah, I think I think that's very true. Because as a number of you pointed out, time is taken here. Time is lost. Um, did anybody notice anything about the orange team?
They
They're
moved.
hurrying. They're moving quickly, and they're probably behind by a point or so.
Okay.
At least I get that impression. They want the play to go, and maybe the end of the game is coming up.
I take some good signs that as we begin the clip, the kid that was fouled gets up, no issue, and the referee's right there. And throughout all of this, number 8 in orange never complains. So what I'm thinking watching this is, has the referee put in so much work to get so much trust up to this point that orange knows he's going to handle it? Is orange just exceedingly mature, remarkably patient? um, and you know, yes, the referee did keep backing away. He did have to escalate his voice. However, White did not make him come back. Has anybody ever, I have, made the accident of walking away and then you have to come back? They make you come back.
Yes, I've done that.
So there is that to be said. I like that you're all seeing things you like, you don't like. Flow is shut down here. Referee's trying to bring in flow, but he's not whipping out yellows everywhere. Okay. Let's look a little later in the match.
Mhm.
Who is the ref on this game?
That's Victor.
Okay.
All right. What do we think of that one?
Good job.
Okay. Why do you say good job, Andy?
We saw the foul, he called it. The players at this time were moving away from it, not start. Of course, it was at midfield, but
It was the same
they,
player, by the way.
ah,
Oh.
but they were respecting the distance.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell from the video. I saw his arm go out. He wasn't holding a card, was he?
I don't think
No.
so.
Okay.
So you can see right here, right?
Yes.
This hand getting hooked.
Mm-hmm.
So what's motivating White 15 to do that?
Well, it doesn't look like they have a bunch of players back.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
He-
it's tactical.
Last night. Yeah.
I like that. You're thinking coach perspective. Okay.
Well, I'm
And
assuming that this is the other half of that game because I think Orange is going to the right now. To
yeah,
the
they're going
left.
the other way. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just don't, when you look, there's one person way back, but you just don't see much.
Yeah. Whereas Orange had 2 or 3 people in the wings.
He did
Mhm.
card him, didn't he?
No, that's the other referee on the next field. That yellow.
Oh, because I thought I saw his arm go up, his left arm.
Yeah, he is gesticulating.
I think he lost his whistle. I think he was trying to catch it.
Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. He did drop his whistle midair.
Oh,
He
yeah,
gave
see,
a
that's what I saw.
Oh, wait, was that a card?
No,
That
he's
might have
giving
been a card.
direction. There's no card here.
Okay.
Trust me, I've watched this clip dozens of times.
Well,
he,
more than that, he's not holding up play and not writing anything down if he did issue one.
Yeah. And look, right? What do we think of White's response here to the call?
Yeah, he
They agreed.
acknowledged it.
Guilty.
Yeah, he agreed with it. He knew it.
Yeah.
However,
He's still fighting it.
and I'm going to turn the sound back on. Let's listen to what his teammates say.
Let it go, let it go.
Yeah. Let it go, Jake. Let it go, Jake. The first voice might be Jake's mom. She's like, "Oh, Jake." What do we think about that?
You got advocates on the ref side. That's how you want it, right? It's like I made the right call. Now the parents, now the players are saying, get over it. Let's go.
Yes. This player who in our last clip was a problem player, in this clip has his own team saying, "Come on, Jake." As a
Well, he
referee,
must
what do
be
you go ahead?
he must be the troublemaker of the team then.
Yeah. So as a referee, what do you think when you hear that?
You're gonna have to keep an eye on that kid.
Mm-hmm.
But I do appreciate the comments from his teammates.
Yes. And there's another tool, right? Coach is aware, teammates are aware. Lean on them if you want. So it's always nice when they give you a tool, when they take your side. It's not often that happens, so don't let it pass.
also like the look that Victor gave and the gesture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your AR is going toward the goal. You're trotting a little bit toward it, and you're have been trying hard. So now it's more about having fun.
That whistle was not from this match.
Is this an old clip?
Gotta be. It's Peter, isn't it?
It is Peter.
Super. This is.
Well, the first thing I noticed with this, he didn't observe his assistant referee's flag signal.
He was getting a little spun around, wasn't he?
Yes. He was too focused in one spot.
Okay. What does this player's reaction tell us? There's quite a reaction.
The temperature has already gone up in this game.
Mm-hmm. All right. So James sees this first one, right?
As an
James sees this
opportunity,
first one.
it settles. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, come on, mouse. All right. Forgive the jumping. James sees this first one. 31 says, "Hey, rep, come on."
I know. I'm down.
Right. And then there's this. I'm not saying this is a foul, but this contact here, bump in the back. And then, a little more contact, advantage. And then the kid comes down.
Taking him out.
And then he's up. So, what does this sequence tell us?
He's not watching the game. Or the players, he's watching something else because that three of the players went down and the red team, all three of them. He should have called something on them.
He called advantage.
Well, I know, but there three players go down in one play. That should have done. There's something that should have been done about that.
Okay. So the flow is getting heavier than the control,
Yes.
right? So it's one of those things where it's not one, not two, not three, right? So of course, the player on the ground is going to want the offense. His teammates gesturing for it. Okay. Um, and then there's another contact, another contact. Maybe the ref's been missing it. Maybe red is just not used to being trusted with this level of play. But that's quite a big reaction he got there. And then it's worth noting, Clint, the far AR, look at him and the coach. All right, the coach is giving feedback as well.
And Clint is totally ignoring the coach.
Got a little. Clint is great at being dialed in on what's going on the field. Yeah, as you'll see in one of the upcoming clips.
I'd love to know what he had said about this, though. That's
Yeah,
an
so
old clip.
Yeah.
we got some good feedback there, right? We got some serious input. Okay, maybe it's time for a strong 5 minutes from the referee team. Seems like everyone's on the same page on that one.
Yeah.
Do you think Clint should have raised his flag to mirror the other AR? Maybe he would have made a difference.
That's a good question. And you're asking that just as I was noticing the time and things got to move on.
I don't think he would have noticed if the other AR raised it because the play was between him and the near AR to us.
What
So
do we
he
think?
was,
Yeah. At this point, is this helping the game?
No.
But if the referee sees it, we have the gift of hindsight. Yeah. So I'll play this next clip and I want to let you guys think among yourselves, discuss among yourselves. We'll go to the next one. What do we think?
I liked how he came up. I liked how he made the call. Pretty strong signal, pretty big foul. And then the way he addressed the situation, his presence was very well felt right there, and concerned as well as concerned to correct the bad, the hard foul. I
That
think he
was a
did
very hard charging foul. That should have been a card.
yeah, he was talking to the player that made that foul. It looked like he decided to address it with his voice as opposed to a card at this point. But I like the way he ran in toward where the foul took place in order to show his presence and maintain control.
Yeah, I think you folks are spot on. James, the referee, does a great job of running in with intensity to show I recognize the importance of this moment. And yeah, I think he makes a choice here. All right. The players showed respect for each other. I'm going to manage this with one of my other tools. And looking at white and red, how do we think that's received?
It-
It seems like they're okay with it. We got to go on.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
accepted it.
I think James has done a lot of work in this match to earn that respect.
Mm.
And
And I
by the
can,
way, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I can see he positioned himself further on the other side of the field and up toward the goal at that restart. In other words, where play was going to take place. So he'd be in a position to watch whatever happened there.
Hmm. Yeah, and Clint, the AR here, does a great job of applying presence as well, right? And his body language shows that he knows this matters, right? And he's managing the coach right away. He's staying present. He's not like, offside line, gotta go. He's he's recognizing what's important here. I think those two young men did a fine job here. I'm aware of how many clips I have left. Oh,
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
what a coach there. Could you hear the coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ben Miller.
Yeah, that's good coaching.
Yeah. And it makes the game so much easier. Good on Ben. All right, so everyone had a reaction at first. Would anyone have not called this, given advantage?
No, that's a foul.
No, no.
Yeah. Jordan, the referee, is right on top of it. Um, look at this squaring up here. Ooh. As a referee, that's when the hair on the back of your neck starts tingling. Um,
Yes.
so everyone's going a more control heavy approach here, it sounds like. Oh, no. Wrong one. Hold on. All right. So he looks back, right? He's like, okay, guys, all right, we're calming down. All right, hold on here. Let me go get this handled. What do you think about how 40, as soon as Jordan gestured, what do you think? What's that telling you, that reaction there?
Well, he took his time, right? He knew he needed to address him, and that wasn't the first thing. He wanted to make sure everybody broke up. This player walks away, but I still got unfinished business. So he took his time. I like that.
Yeah. And 40 doesn't complain coming in, right? He respects the refs. Like, okay, yeah, I'll come talk to you.
Well, no, he knows he did something wrong, and he's just lucky he didn't get a card on that one.
Yeah.
And he gave him a stern warning. So
Yep.
no more.
And then you hear him say, "Don't talk to the ref. Don't talk to the ref."
And that's the coach of the red team.
Okay.
He wants to make sure they don't get up and complain. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. And he goes on, I might be able to hear it better on my end than you can, but he says, we play the game, we don't talk to the ref. We're gonna control the ball and we're gonna go from there. Love it. All right. Next one here. Okay, any quick thoughts on this one?
the guilty player
Hmm.
didn't seem to like the call or agree with the ref very much.
Right.
We didn't see the offense. It wasn't on screen, but that's not really what this is about, is it?
No.
No. Yeah, he kept walking away from the referee as the referee
Yeah,
was talking to him.
yeah, and Eric, he says his word, says, "Oh, hold on, that's not cool. All right, we're gonna be cool." And then Eric starts backing off, and then the player keeps going again. So Eric's back in it, and then Eric's backing off, right? So they're doing this dance, right? What do you guys think about that dance?
I think it was necessary. I don't see any problem with it.
Okay.
It just depends on how much of this has already gone on.
True.
If that's the first time, maybe that's fine. But if it's been going on for a long time, like 3 or 4 other times in this game, I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Might need a caution. I mean, if it's been going on for a lot, already.
And I'd say this looks very typical of an advanced candidate learning their management skills. That's where Eric was in this situation. All right. We're moving through clips fast. All right.
What is he complaining about? He's gonna get a yellow card.
Alex, you really into the go?
Water?
All right. What do we think about that one?
Was that a step on the foot or kicking the
Cleats,
leg?
cleat to the foot.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely
Okay.
late. The ball's nowhere
Good.
near.
Good call then. Yeah, because I was wondering what something extreme there. Yeah.
And how happy do we think the teams are with the whole situation?
Well, I know that one hurt.
What do you think of this player's reaction?
I think the ref had the proper words because it wasn't that you're overly aggressive, it's the act that you did. It's very painful and hurt and warrants that. And so to bring them to that level to understand that ain't no cleats on feet, that's not what we do. And we don't stand for any of that. And here's your card and okay.
You see, he's nodding. Okay. It
Yeah,
helps
he's got
that
his hands up as a surrender.
Maybe.
it helps that Cindy was his coach the season prior. That changes the referee player dynamic.
Ah,
A lot of respect. Yeah, good.
Yeah. All right. Look at that. We got Mr. Holberg here now. We got one
oh
of you on a
no.
clip.
All right. All right.
That's good. Win.
Okay. Pushing the back, right? Right about there we go.
Yes.
Yes. Give me more.
But does it affect play?
Well, yeah, he
Can
loses
you,
the ball after that.
It does? Okay.
what's the next couple steps look like?
See?
No,
Yeah,
he doesn't. Keep the ball.
So,
No, same guy.
There's as you come in, defense
Same
has the
guy had the
ball.
ball. I've seen so much of this in the Olympics that I'm almost immune to it by now.
But their reaction to it often just accepts it. Like, okay, this is how we're playing.
We also don't know that Chris called advantage or not because he wasn't in the clip at the time. Chris could
I
have called
wouldn't call
advantage.
advantage, not as an AR.
Oh, I thought you were the referee in this case.
No, they are. I think that's Keith in the middle. Right? So undeniably contact in the back. How much what are these players showing for each other? Right? You've
Respect.
got go ahead, Kristen.
Respect. I mean, they probably played each other. They know each other. So
Yeah.
they know how it's going to go. And it's, they're just trying to keep up with each other.
It's a foot race, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
and offense in white looks like he just kind of acknowledges, yeah, I got beat.
Yeah.
Exactly. These teams are both happy with this level of play. As Christian said, they've got respect for each other. Nothing more to it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
But if it was in the first 5 minutes, I would have wanted to call it since it was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. We
So that
know
they
we
know
know
that I don't like that.
Andy wears out his whistle in the first 5 minutes. He's got to get a second one for the next 85 minutes.
You should always carry two whistles.
Andy, I would encourage you for your identity to not define the game. Let the kids
Under
define the game.
advisement.
Don't stop, Lily. Nice. Run. Just run.
That's Keith again.
That Keith's getting the limelight today.
Getting a workout.
Yeah, he is. Young Nathan there too. All right, what do we think about this one?
I think the flow of the game just keeps on playing. So there was really nothing you could call. I mean, you could probably call something, but then you would stop the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the advantage call was good.
Good refereeing can look boring sometimes, right?
Oh man.
You like it to be.
Because, this is advantage in their defending half on a girls 14 match. This is not generally a situation where you're saying, boom, advantage. But look at the reaction Keith gets. Did anybody indicate that they wanted something different?
Nope. They went along right with it.
So that's how you know whether to flow or control there.
Mm.
If everyone's happy, you're great. Okay. Last clip here. This one's a thinker. I think maybe it's clear to you guys. But last clip.
Oh.
All right. What do you guys think?
Could you do that
Go
one
ahead.
more time, actually? Could you show it one more time?
Yeah, here. I'll just have the ball in play.
No attempt to play the ball.
Yeah, that's right.
He just went
Right.
Did the AR get the direction right?
So who's she giving the free kick?
The blue by the
Ah.
AR signal.
Actually, hold on.
Bam.
Oops. Eh. All right, let's get to the flag. Cindy's flag
Bam.
behind the umbrella. So she's up left hand.
Okay, never mind. The
Yeah.
umbrella hit it.
So to the defense, not the attacker.
Yeah.
Well, blue did grab the white player's arm with whatever took place and pulled them down. Just
It's a hard one because it seemed like the other team ran
right
right in
there, he's
first.
grabbing the player. And he's
Well,
gonna
red
pull him
ran
down
into the
with him.
player.
Yeah, first.
So blue's got, it should have been blue ball.
But then what does blue do? As
He
we
grabs the
that.
player and pulls him down with him.
yeah,
Throws
so it's
him
like a
down.
double problem there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Does it? Yeah, I guess he does.
It's a buy one get one.
he may be grabbing onto anything he can grab onto as he's
Yeah.
falling.
Yeah, he got away with some.
Well, blue didn't because Cindy called it for white to get the ball back.
Yeah, the retaliation was called. Yeah, that I
I-
would have gone probably with the initiator. I'm not
Joel,
sure.
Yeah,
I'm with
with
you.
white,
I'm with you.
I would have
Yeah, that's what I think too.
flagged it with the right hand.
So Joel said the retaliation got called. It should have been for the initiator.
Right.
How many
So let's look
I-
at them on the ground. Oops. Right here. Right? So I think White knew he came in with enough heat.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he got what he expected when he came in. And he's on the ground. Like, what just happened? Are we okay with that?
True.
No.
No, but you gotta understand, I think he understood that he knows what he did, but he's just trying to get away with something.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
What-
I think his reaction is like, wait, he did more than me, but that's
Yeah.
not.
I would love it if Cindy was here to say what she was thinking.
Yeah, 'cause she's right there. She can see the play.
Mhm.
She's pretty close to it. And I don't often see Cindy raise the wrong arm.
Yeah, she meant for this to go out. I know in this game she was thinking a lot about, is my knee gonna hold up? Um,
I think that a lot.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But let's look at play going in here. Do we think this is high level, mid level? This is a boys 16, if I'm not mistaken.
I think this is a hot game.
Okay, Kristen thinks it's a hot game,
Uh-huh.
not in the Texas weather way. That tells you stuff has been going on, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Retaliation. Uh-huh.
I'm
And-
still not sure what white did to foul blue. I'm not 100% convinced, but we're watching, the video and Cindy had a
Yeah.
better angle of it.
Well, and one thing I'll point out is it might just be about certain pairings because look at this. Hold on. This is very hard to play. Can I change playback speed? I cannot. Right. So when 82 and I believe it's 27 run in together, they're all about the ball, right? 22. Right. So these first two that run in, they're all about the ball. Clean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens after that?
Rough housing.
Well, the ball was just flipped there.
So 82 was okay
Oh.
with 22 here.
Yeah.
But then when we come here, you think that might have gotten some frustration for this boys 16 player?
Possibly. And have they played each other before? That could have been a big possibility too.
Yeah. But look at this. Look at this. I mean, it's a method of teamwork by 82 here, right? It's like, okay, ball is yours now. I'm gonna handle this. Boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
But oh, that's a good spot. Grabbed right by the neck there.
Oh, maybe that's why. Huh.
So maybe it's something with, what is it? I forget his number. This player
22.
here.
22.
Yeah. So this guy, both players in blue are getting physical with him. Whereas this kid over here, they were just playing ball. So maybe this guy's been generating some frustrating things for us, right?
Mhm.
So when Joel said the retaliation got called, I'd go with initiation. I strongly agree. However, for me, that call is going to be earlier, going to shut things down here. And sometimes retaliation is like that.
Oh, okay. I see that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
impeding
me.
with contact.
That's my style. I would just go for charging here. But you guys see that dynamic there, that maybe there's some frustration that Blue has toward this kid.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so maybe there are some tools we could have used earlier. So when we look at the feedback we get from the kids, you see how it can tell us the judgment essentially on flow and control. They are the customer. If both teams are happy, we're doing all right, right? If neither team is happy, we're not necessarily doing a poor job. So you guys keep an eye out for those reactions. That's the information you can take in during the game to say, okay, do I need to call more, call less, call different?
I
Do I
was looking
need
for the referee. Where was the referee in that clip?
Yeah, no
he
kidding.
you guys are ruthless. He was caught up in a transition. He wasn't as fast as these 15, 16-year-olds.
It wasn't me, was it? I hope not.
No. Which is not me passing judgment. I've been saying it for 24 years now. I'm in a middle and um Kristen, this is just factual. This is no judgment on you. I am in a middle-aged man sport. Um, and it's a bunch of guys who think they can keep up with teenagers. And that's just not the fact anymore.
Oh, I
Kristen,
can't
you
keep
are
up.
an exception.
No, I can't keep up with these kids.
I mean, you're an exception to the middle-aged man thing.
Oh.
But so am
Okay.
I, because I'm way past middle age.
Hmm.
Yes. You are some fine wine, Chris.
Yeah, turning to vinegar.
Yeah. It's still fun to watch Chandler ref. He doesn't ref very often down here. He refs more in College Station, but it's amazing to watch him ref and how he can keep up with some of those kids. It's just crazy. And some of the stuff that he's picked up while he was down there, it's just crazy. I'll never be as good as any of you guys, but I'm trying, still trying.
We're all trying. So, does anybody have any questions coming out of this or any feel on how to apply this on the field?
I had a slightly related question, but
Yeah.
maybe it's on, I was just thinking this week about, when we call advantage, I haven't seen a lot of modeling, like examples where referees call advantage and then they actually bring it back and actually have the direct free kick. So like I don't know if I've ever even done that. Yeah, I'm unsure. I'm unsure, and I need more guidance in uh, you know, si situations where I would do that, where okay, advantage didn't develop. What did that look like? And then I blow the whistle and I bring the ball back and I give the original foul.
Mhm.
I don't see that, but
But
done,
good for you.
so I don't
I
know.
said good for you that you do
I've
that.
seen I've seen Keith do it quite a few times.
Okay,
Games
but
that I've done
what
with
does
him.
what does that look like? Could you give an example, Lewis, maybe of something you've seen and when you did that, you brought it back, or how long you let it go, or what happened or didn't
Yeah,
happen?
does anybody know why we don't see that terribly often? I mean, there are multiple reasons, but Any theories?
Because they usually get some kind of attacking chance or kick towards goal, and we think that they've gotten their advantage and play continues.
Yeah.
Yeah, the possession stayed with the same team. So, and that's why you would call advantage. And you don't see it change hands that quickly too often.
And I think a big reason we don't see that too often, and I pay this as a compliment to a lot of referees, the referees that are thinking to call advantage. Um, yeah, we talk about wait and see with advantage, right? So the hands might not be up right away. The words might not be out. And so just the nature of waiting and seeing is going to make that situation less common. But I can think of for me some glaring situations where that has happened is I have more faith in the team than they do. So I think, oh yeah, they still got the ball advantage. And then they stop and complain to me. And it's, okay, I guess there is no advantage because they're too busy whining. So I gotta blow my whistle. Um, or or they just fall flat on their face. They trip over the ball, right? So it's um that's I think that's a common of this uncommon situation, that might be a frequent cause where they're busy complaining or they actually find out they were injured by the offense. Um, that's a good question, Robert.
Those are good examples, so thanks for offering those up.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good talking point. Does anybody else have anything in this winding down discussion?
I have a question maybe afterwards. I was unable to download the material.
Hmm.
The
Yeah, we'll
very,
talk about
Tried.
that later.
the very last
Yeah.
file was really big. I was able to download everything, but the very last one, my computer said, you may injure your computer if you download this file. So I just didn't do it.
Yeah, and then you gotta add time for stoppage and injuries and yeah, I'll talk about that after we end the recording. Let me put an end on the recording here. Again, I want to thank you all for giving more time. I know we've got a fall season coming up, and you can share the knowledge. You are all equipped to be role models in your regions. Feel free to spread the word. If each of you brings one more person from your region, just imagine if your region had another valuable volunteer like you, how big that would be, and how big it would be for Team 3, especially mentors. If you can bring in mentors, great. But I hope that this gives you something to think through, that as you step on the field in this fall season, and some of you have voiced very admirably. I don't make a lot of calls because I don't want to negatively impact the game. Um, See that sometimes not making calls is a negative impact. Sometimes not making calls is a positive, and it's not all black and white. There's gray area, or there's the rainbow, as I've got here. You've got a wide range of tools. So if you feel a game needs more control, but you don't really want to stop it for a free kick, a discussion, any of that right then, okay, you got some other tools. Try them out. You're gonna find things don't work. You're gonna find things that do work. Things feel weird, things that work sometimes, and you'll just develop mastery of it as you go on. So thanks for developing yourselves as volunteers again. Yeah, Chris?
One last question. I was looking at your rainbow and it dawned on me. FIFA has adopted the blue card. Is AYSO going to end up doing that?
At present, we're not using it. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
good. It's too confusing.
Too many colors. But I've got one I can give you if you want it. So I'm going to wrap up the recording at that point. Just a lot of appreciation for you folks spending time ahead of the fall season. And yeah, so thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lewis.